What is up, YouTube? Ruben here. Today I'm going to show you guys the Dell Dimension 3000. Now, here's a background of what I like about those Dell Dimensions with that case design, so let's begin. I had a Dell Dimension 2400 that I have. I actually have three of them, one of which is a Celeron, and the other two are Pentium 4s. So, these are actually one of the all-time favorites in the computer line. And that's basically because I actually used at least one Dell, at least a few Dell Dimensions, mainly the 2400. Now we're getting into the granddaddy of the 2400, which is the 3000. So let's begin with the 3000. So it was built in 2004 to replace the 2400. Although ports might be similar to what you would see on the 2400, the 3000 is a newer generation of the 2400. Obviously, there are more models earlier than the 2400, which included the 2300 and the 2350. And they both use the same case design. So, yeah, there you go. So let's go ahead and now, before we get started with the tour, I want to show you guys, I'm going to tell you guys what the 3000 had to offer. So the 3000 came in, with this case design, and although they did ship with Windows XP, they actually have two variants of this of the desktop, the Dell Dimension 3000, which either came with Windows XP Home Edition or Windows XP Professional. Now the one you're seeing here came with Windows XP Professional. So, yeah, there you go. Okay, let's go ahead and go through the ports and features right here. So, on the front we got, and I need to turn the flashlight on, we got a CRW drive. We got a floppy drive, and yes, there is a floppy drive installed. Right here is the power and the hard drive indicators. The Dell Dimension 3000 designation, the power button, the Dell logo right here. That's the vent for the hard drive. The Windows XP Pentium 4 stickers. And right here we got two USB 2.0 ports and a headphone jack. So now let's go to the back. So I need to pause it, so I'll be back. So on the back we got the power supply. I suppose this is 275 watt or 300. And right here we got serial, parallel, VGA, the diagnostic indicators. And right here we got two PS2 ports, one keyboard, one mouse. We got audio ports, we got microphone. We also got line in and line out. Line out being the green and line in being the blue. And right here we got four USB 2.0 ports and an Ethernet port. And down here we got 56K modem. Now the inside, and I'm going to need two hands for that, so let me pause the video so I'll be back. So on the inside, you can see there's the power supply, and this one is a 250 watt, I suppose. Let me be sure. Let's see, I can't even read it, but okay, so I suppose it's a 300 watt, so yeah, there you go. Right here, this is actually the heatsink that was used on the 2400, and they still use it on the 3000, except now they have a copper heatsink, whereas the 2400 actually used a metal heatsink. I think it's aluminum, or actually, yes, it's an aluminum heatsink. And here are the DDR RAM sticks right here. They're both, I suppose they are, one. Yeah, these are 256 megabyte sticks. And then they're all going to be PCI X32. Yeah, PCI 32-bit. No, not X32, of course. There's the hard drive. It's a 40 gig hard drive. So, yeah, and there's the floppy drive and the CD or W drive. So, yeah, there you go. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna close the case, and I'm gonna tell you guys the specs. So I'll be back. Alright, so now let's go to the specs. So this one has, I suppose it's a 1.8 or something. I know it's a Pentium 4, so yeah, I think it's a 1.8 gigahertz Intel Pentium 4, and this is socket 478. This one has 512 megabytes of DDR RAM, and I suppose this is PC 3200. Don't quote me on that. And it has a 40 gig IDE hard drive, and it's running Windows XP Professional Service Pack 3. So, yeah, there you go. Well, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and set up the computer. So, I'll be back. Alright, so I got the computer set up, so let's go ahead and start it up. As UXW Bill says, smoke test! Alright. Good. Let's go to the BIOS if we can get there. I need to set the time. It is 7:44. Nope, it is 07. Now, this is the BIOS right here. I'm not going to show you much, but here you go. It does have OS install mode, which is kind of cool. And the event log. Yeah, there's a lot of events that happened. It's mostly CMOS checksum failures and battery issues. And of course, keyboard errors. Now let's go ahead and exit the BIOS and boot into Windows XP. And it is actually this is a 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4. And it has 1 megabyte of L2 cache. Let's go ahead and boot into Windows XP. So, there you go. And I might want to make sure the keyboard connector, the cable, doesn't actually interfere with the screen. So, yeah. And there you go, we booted into Windows XP. Okay, let's go ahead and right click my computer, hit properties. So this one is running Windows XP Professional Service Pack 2, Service Pack 3, not Service Pack 2. Yes, Dell Dimension 3000. So, here you go, Dell Dimension 3000, Intel Pentium 4, 2.8 gigahertz, 512 megabytes of RAM. Yeah, I added the OEM info, of course, because obviously I like the Dell computers better. Here we go. And the hard drive, like I said, is a 40 gig. As you can see, total size is 37.2 gigabytes. And now let's go over. So now I'm going to show you guys the programs I installed. So right here I installed 7-zip, Adobe Reader XI, Seed Cleaner, CD Burner XP, CPU Z, Defraggler, Google Chrome. I actually installed Chrome 49, iTunes, .NET Framework 2.0, Virtual PC 2007, Firefox 52.3.0, Nlight, QuickTime, Safari, Speccy, VLC Media Player, WinRAR, and WizTree. Yeah, we got a few programs installed. So, yeah. So now let's go ahead and open up some programs. Let's start things off with CPU Z. As you can see here in CPU Z, we got the Pentium 4, and it is a Prescott Pentium 4, 90 nanometer. Yeah, running at 2.8 gigahertz. The cache is, like I said, has 1 megabyte of L2 cache. This one has the Intel 865 chipset. So there you go. And this is DDR, and this is PC3200 at 200 megahertz. So yeah, and they're both Nanya. They're both Nanya RAM, and the graphics is the Intel 820 865G. So the Intel 865 graphics right there. And benchmarking, I do not recommend benchmarking it if you're using it on a Pentium 4 machine. Now, I do not recommend benchmarking the CPU because it will cause a lot of lagging, and not only that, it lower scores. I think I had around 60 in the single thread, and pretty much the same number in the multi-thread. So yeah. Now let's go over to iTunes. It's gonna take a while. Here you go, this is iTunes. And I'm running iTunes 6. I'm running 6.0.1.3. So yeah. Now let's open up Firefox. Here you go. That's Firefox 52.3.0. Yeah, let's open up Safari because why not? Although I would have probably opened IE6. Who knows about IE6? Here you go. This is Safari. This is version 3.1. Now Speccy. So here's the CPU, the RAM, and here's the motherboard, graphics, storage. Hard drive is good at 21 degrees Celsius. Optical drives. This one supports CDR, CDRW, and CD-ROM. And the optical drive does work. So here's the audio. It's using the SoundMax digital audio. And these are self-explanatory. Now let's go over to VLC Media Player. Here you go, VLC Media Player. Now I'm going to show you guys Google Chrome. Chrome 49 is pretty much the last version to support Windows XP and Vista because obviously they no longer support it. So yeah. So that's Chrome. This is Chrome 49. I can show you that by going into the help section. Here you go, Chrome 49.2623.112. So yeah. Now let's go to Wedge Tree. Scan some files. Here you go. That's just a scan right there. And now let's go to CD Burner XP. Here you go, CD Burner XP. You can actually integrate ISOs using CD Burner XP, by the way, because you can actually burn CDs or DVDs. So there you go. Now let's go to Adobe Reader XI. Here you go, Adobe Reader XI is right there. And now let's go to CCleaner. As you can see, here's CCleaner 5.59. So there you go. And now I'm going to show you guys the graphics. So let's right click, hit Properties, Settings, Advanced, Adapter. Now as you can see, the Intel 865G graphics right here. And this is part of the Extreme Graphics 2. This one has 96 megabytes of dedicated graphics. Obviously this is built-in graphics, so it is integrated onto the motherboard. So yeah. And I suppose that was pretty much it. Let me be sure. Oh yeah, 7-zip. 7-zip. So here you go. This is 7-zip. This is 16.04. I suppose that was pretty much it. Now let's go to Nlight because it's a tool that you can use to actually build a custom installation of Windows. So yeah. So here's Nlight. This is version 1.4.9.3. And the earliest you can get is Windows 2000. So that's actually very good, considering that Windows 2000 is from the year 2000. Hey, let's go to QuickTime. Why not? Here you go. This is QuickTime. And I suppose that was pretty much it. Oh, you know what? I would have shown you WinRAR. So let's go to WinRAR and then Virtual PC. Here it is. WinRAR. Well, as you can see, it's saying only 5 days left to buy a license. And then, finally, Virtual PC 2007. So here it is. This is Virtual PC 2007. So yeah. And I suppose that was pretty much it. So now let's get to the conclusion. So, in conclusion, is it worth it? Probably not, because obviously this computer's from 2004, so pretty much any modern tasks may not be able to run. So only use it if you are pretty much running legacy programs such as iTunes or whatever, because nowadays Windows XP is vulnerable to viruses. So yeah. Also, kind of like the way they designed the case. So it's very cool how it is easy to manage, especially with the case right there, where you can actually open the door and by pulling down the latch and using two hands just to slide it and open it. It's much easier to work on. So yeah. And by the way, this computer supports up to 2 gigs of RAM because obviously it's DDR memory. So yeah. There are a few upgrade options, like you can upgrade the hard drive up to 80 gigabytes. You can go up to 2 gigs of RAM. And because it's a Prescott based system, I think it can go up to, I think it's a 3 gigahertz Pentium 4. No, it does not support 64-bit, obviously because it's from 2004. And not only that, this system is actually not worth it when it comes to modern standards in 2021. So yeah. Also, the cool thing about I can't even talk. The cool thing about the Dell Dimension 3000 is that it is actually a revision of the 2400, and not only that, you can actually play some vintage games with it and maybe run virtual PC at once. I actually did that a few times on the Dell Dimension 2400, so yeah. And I suppose you can also, use this as a vintage gaming PC. Some people might even think you can actually turn this into a sleeper PC, and you can actually run a modern motherboard, newer drives, and such thing like that. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it for the Dell Dimension 3000. So, thank you guys for watching. Please be sure you like and subscribe on my channel. And also, you can also follow me on Twitter at RibbonUpAdicia17. I don't use that much on Twitter anyway. You can also follow me on Instagram at Ruben the Transit Fan. Or if you want to see some transit content that I usually post, just go ahead and follow my transit page at Ruben's Transit Hub, which is basically the main series for my channel. Mostly a transit channel here, but there you go. So that was pretty much it for the Dell Dimension 3000. So, I'll see you next time.